Good morning here from Kabaritan Sur. Discovered just around the corner from us now, next door to the local mini bank, I'll call it. They're just establishing another hollow block business, as there's a lot of construction going on in the area. It's a local supplier, another one, and they don't appear to have a machine doing the job, so the machine is the man. So he's hard at work mixing the ratio of cement to Kuya. How much cement to each mix?
One bagger.
One bag. To how much sand?
Sand. 4.
4 to 1. 4 to
4 to
1.
1.
Okay, thank you. And these here are 4-inch. As you can see, they've been busy making them, and they're under what I would have described as a carport for the micro bank that's next door. Unfortunately, the micro bank got done over the other night, obviously looking for anything valuable. And there's another guy over here. He's making the same situation, and they're literally making them by hand with a hand molder just here. And he's wetting it down to keep them from drying out too quickly. Very basic, but nevertheless establishing a little business here. So that's just food for thought. There's some 5-inch here and 4-inch over there, so they'll be busy all day today. Now here in Kabaritan Sur, I was fortunately allowed to look into the house by the owner, a lady whose husband is in Saudi working, and they're building a home here next door to what is a small school building, Testa, which is a training school. But next door they're building a standard house. Again, it's 3, 4, so 12 pillars. So it gives you an idea of the volume or the size of the home that's being built that we're going to follow. And since I was here last, they've put all the hollow blocks up, and I recognise somebody there. One of Jane's relatives is working here, and they're very fast at getting it up. They're rendering the bottom half, and it looks like they're getting ready to lay out and set up for the roof of the building. It's gone up very, very quickly. Again, the 12 pillars, and in between the 12 pillars, the hollow blocks. And the Rio bar is sticking out on the front here for what will be a deck coming out from one of the bedrooms upstairs and wrapped around the corner. So this is a good example of how the standard 2-story house here in the Philippines is constructed, and you can see they've started putting in the kitchen, and they've put some doors in, obviously for security at the moment, and also process. As you can see, it's downstairs is a comfort room, and another little room there. I would think that may be a bedroom, and it's a lounge come dining room plus entrance inside the building. Again, proceeding very quickly as the time goes tick, tick, tick. That's unusual to see a clock already in the house. Maybe it's so they know what time to start. But this is another example here in Kabaritan of a standard two-story house, and as you can see, the plumbing is already coming through the floor, and they're using steel deck, which is a normal way now, rather than lumber and hardboard, or plywood I should say, but that's how they do it all. Very simple, very fast construction. Just to give you an idea, the lady who owns this house was telling me they paid for 100 square meters, they paid 500,000 pesos. So it's 5,000 per square meter. That's the price of agricultural land here. And it's not what you would call rice fields, but they can be flooded by the water if they want to. But it's up, the foundation is built above the floor level to the road here. So they should be pretty okay. Now on the other side of the road, they've been thrashing the corn that they've cut back, and now the carabao and the cows, in this particular case, the cow that you would probably find that kind of breed up in Darwin in the northern territories of Australia, but the carabao, which is hidden slightly by the thrashing machine, they're just eating all of the bits that come off of the corn, all the husks. So that's the look that they will have every day. Looking over, way over there is our house. So it's a very quiet, pleasant country view, as some people would refer to the province. And now we're back at the property that we were looking at yesterday, and as you can see, not a lot's happened. They've propped up the steel work. It's obviously going to maybe, you can see they're propping it up, and the holes that were filled yesterday are also propped up. And I've discovered that the owner and one of my neighbours is working here. Ren, you've seen him doing work on some of my previous videos. Ren, what's the next process? Are you making the form?
Yeah, we're making the form.
Are you pouring more concrete in?
No,
That's
anymore.
it.
That's it. We pour only 4 bags.
Right. So you're going to do the form work today? Yeah?
Until here.
Up to there?
There.
Up to that level?
This is the beam.
And
the
then you'll do the
tie beam.
The tie beam round the edge. Right, well that's all we can show you today, but it gives you an update as to what we're going, and it's handy that Ren is going to be helping the owner build this house, so that will be really good. My thought for the day though is back to what I would be suggesting is that many foreigners speak rather disparagingly about Filipino women. They suggest that when a woman has a mind of her own and she speaks her mind, that she's just like a yapping dog. And I think that that just demonstrates the kind of person who makes that statement truly is a hater of Filipino women. And it's sad that it's displayed on some people's videos around the world, because yes, Filipino women are in fact strong-minded. They're not toxic, they're just simply speak their mind, and there's nothing wrong with speaking one's mind. And to suggest that maybe that's a bad trait is also wrong, because nobody really wants Or maybe they do. Maybe they just want a little subservient lady to be the one that does the washing up, never says boo to you. But I tend to think that the real people who come here seeking out a Filipino lady are actually looking for a good companion, someone they can trust, someone who's not going to be talking behind their back, someone who is going to be supportive of their man. And I say of their man because just like there are people who've never been to the Philippines, but they have an opinion on the Philippines. There are people who even come from the Philippines and have chosen to make their life overseas that strangely have a different opinion to those of mine. But that's okay. That's what makes the life diverse, makes the world diverse. And hopefully they will change their mind in time when they themselves find a good woman, which is not that hard to find here in the Philippines. Yes, you'll find scammers everywhere, in England, Australia, and all around the world. And you don't have to be a Filipino to be a scammer. You will discover that in your own past. You may well even describe your wife or your ex as that way. But that's not necessarily the real crux of the matter. The fact is you chose wrong. It didn't quite work out. Whereas here in the Philippines you've got time, as long as you don't rush in where fools rush in, and you take your time to find that special lady, because she is out there and she is a worthy person. Yes, she might snap back at you and she might defend you in that manner, but it only takes a stupid person to realize when somebody's annoyed, angry, or feels threatened. Sometimes they react that way, and that's not a bad thing. It shows that they have the power in their own mind to stand up for what they believe is important. And we have to remember, whilst we rubbish the woman, we therefore rubbish the children. And the children, of course, hear these things, and it's not a good thing. But for weak people who don't even live here, it's okay. They're entitled to it, and no doubt they'll come a cropper one day. So that's my thought for the day as we move on to the real life of the Philippines. Hello, Ian. Ian's on his way to take his wife to work at the local school. And nothing happened here yesterday, so hopefully I will get my A into G and I will continue plastering up here and on the side of the wall. And we're still waiting on someone to come and quote for the actual installation and supply of the windows and the doors. So that's all that's happened here. It's fairly quiet. So without further ado, we'll say goodbye to you. Bye now.